A rumored change of venue has indeed come to pass. The Democrats make a change at their convention that's not only a stagecraft decision, not only a tactical decision, but a symbolic decision about a campaign that's supposed to represent a new kind of politics and a new kind of politician. The Republicans, perhaps predictably, have responded with cynical snark. In our fourth story on the countdown, the small d democratization of an acceptance speech. The original plan was scrapped. On August 28th, instead of an audience of 20,000 inside Denver's Pepsi Center, Obama will instead address upwards of 75,000 people at Invesco Field, where the Broncos play. Filling the room probably won't be a problem, considering an unanticipated turnout of 80,000 for Obama back in May. If by this point in election...
Wow. Wow. Thank you.
If by this point in election season, or in my introduction for that matter, the notion of a rock star hasn't come to mind, then what about when we get to the part about backstage passes? The Denver event will be free to attend, but the Obama campaign says donating $5 for the campaign gives you the chance to be one of 10 lucky winners. The prize, you and a guest, airfare, 2 days and nights at the convention, meet Obama backstage, and watch the speech, quote, in person. Let's turn now to political reporter Chris Cillizza from theWashingtonPost.com. Hi, Chris. Thanks for taking time to join us. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Starting with the backstage pass contest. Does Obama actually raise some significant money by doing this? And is the use of the word backstage making the rock star analogy too literal?
Well, let's take question one first. Yes, he probably does. I think they did this smartly, Rachel, because you just mentioned it. It's not the people who give the most money who are the most likely to get backstage. You can give any more than $5. It's really smart. It continues to broaden out his small dollar internet fundraising base, which we already know is 1 million plus donors. And does it have a risk? Yes, I think it does, only in that Barack Obama's greatest gift is his speaking ability and his ability to draw big crowds. But Republicans can use that against him and say, this guy has a lot of talk, he's not all that much action, he's the head of a movement, but what does that movement stand for? At the same time, 70,000+ people, the millions I assume he will raise in advance of this, it probably makes up for any of those worries.
Well, we heard from the Republican side, we heard from McCain's campaign today some of exactly what you're saying. McCain aide Mark Salter told the New York Times that McCain isn't trying to pass himself off as a larger-than-life figure on stage. They're trying to make that a virtue of that contrast with Obama. Today, another McCain aide sniffed that the boy band NSYNC sold out Invesco Stadium twice. I get that these are digs at Obama, but is the impact of those digs bigger or smaller than the impact of Obama's impressiveness in front of a crowd? My sense here is still that it's advantage Obama.
Well, first of all, I had no idea NSYNC was that popular. But putting that aside, look, it's a strategy born of necessity, Rachel. The McCain campaign knows that John McCain, no matter how much he practices, no matter what the background color is behind him, no matter what color shirt he wears, is not going to be Barack Obama as a speaker. They are not going to be able to match that, and they're probably not going to be able to match the enthusiasm in the Democratic base that George Bush has largely created and Barack Obama has capitalized on. So they have to try and turn this and use Barack Obama's speaking ability, his sort of rock star status, against him and say, again, this is a guy who's a tremendous speaker. You hear John McCain say that almost every speech he gives. But what is he really done? What's behind the rhetoric? It's really the strategy that they have, not the strategy that they want.
A new AP poll, Chris, says the first words that come to voters' minds about Obama are outsider and change. And for McCain, the first word that comes to mind is old. In the context of this story, Obama's speech venue, McCain's reaction, as a political reporter, Chris, does it seem to you like the campaigns are tacking in the right direction to take those impressions, those very generic general impressions, in the direction they need to go?
Well, for the Obama campaign, yes. I think they are trying to balance the fact that, yes, he has this rock star appeal with the fact that he needs to be able to connect with voters on the economy. He's basically focused only on the economy since winning the nomination. For McCain, no. But I will say that I think his change of senior staff, Steve Schmidt coming in, Mike Duhame coming in, will help. What they need to do is use old and turn it to, say, deep resume, experienced and ready to lead, draw that contrast with Obama. If he can't do that, he's not going to win.
Cillizza, author of The Fix on WashingtonPost.com. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Rachel.